Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Going to today's MLB main late slate for the on DraftKings. I posted my early slate video just a little bit ago, so this is the late slate that starts at 7 o'clock. Anyway, before we continue, if you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate that. And I'm not going to go through the whole Patreon spiel because I just did that like a half hour ago. So if you are interested in Patreon, put the link in the description below, and you can go on there, and if you're interested, you can help support me even more for some extra content. Alright, anyway, let's get into this slate. Justin Verlander is the clear SP1 on this slate with his high K rate and his dominating, I say stuff. It's just his pitch arsenal. And at home facing a strikeout happy Mariners, I am all about paying up for him. I do not think that Coors game is an absolute must play with Clayton Kershaw and John Gray on the mound. So I think we can get away without stacking the entire Dodgers lineup again. But I do like them, but I don't think they're in must play category. I'd much rather spend up for Verlander and get the safety net with him because I do think he can get us 30 points. Then Zach Greinke at 9,500. Past two games have not been very good for him, but his overall numbers are still very respectable, and the matchup versus San Francisco in San Francisco is pretty much all you need to get right back on track. So I don't mind Zach Greinke at all. He doesn't walk a lot of guys, limits the hard. Well, I wouldn't say that, but he does have pretty good numbers, and I would not be surprised with a 20-plus point game from Greinke. And then if we're going to the mid-range or the cheap range, I don't mind Paddock or Hudson. Paddock is just a little bit more riskier, but the numbers are great for him. Besides the hard contact rate, which that's what worries me. So guys like Goldschmidt, Matt Carpenter, and some other guys, they do give me a little bit of concern. But the ballpark for pitching is pretty solid in San Diego, and I don't mind going with him. But I don't mind going all the way down at Dakota Hudson at 6,900. Hudson's pretty tough on righties. He struggles with lefties, but we're gonna get a ton of righties in San Diego. So I think Hudson's in a pretty decent spot, and like I said, it's a decent pitcher's park as well. And if we go with if we pair him up with Verlander, it gives us decent enough salary left to be able to do what we want. Then at catcher, we have Yasmani Grandal at 4,400. He's been leading off recently, and Lyle struggles with lefties and Grandal smashes righties. So I think it's a fantastic spot for Yasmani if you can afford him. I do love that Brewers stack today. Then Robinson Chirinos at 4,300. Kikuchi's been awful. He's got an extremely high walk rate, allows a lot of hard contact. Just not a very good pitcher, and I really like the stack for the Astros. Then Buster Posey, and the Mariners don't have the best bullpen in the world either. Then Buster Posey at 2,500. This is just a pure price play for where he's sitting in the order, so getting good value there and pretty much opens up your lineup. Even if you're playing Greinke, I guess it would be fine putting him in your lineup. And then we have Max Muncy, 5,400. He just hit a homer like 5 minutes ago as I'm doing this. So he loves Coors Field. What is that? 3 homers in 2 games now. And I know he's expensive, but he's just been smashing. And I like Gray as a pitcher, but it's still Coors Field in the summer, so advantage to the bats. And I like all the Dodgers again, but I don't see them as must plays like last night. I think you can get away with fading him a little bit just for some of the other options we have in the slate, and I want to pay for Verlander. So, and plus with bats, there are a lot more variants that goes with the bats because they can, like Cody Bellinger. I think he's 0 for 4 right now. So I mean, if you paid $6K for Bellinger, like me, you're not too happy right now. You would probably wish you spent up on pitching, not really on this slate, but just I'm saying in general. So I want the safety net in cash with Verlander. GPPs, I get it, but give me some Verlander over these Dodgers bats. But still in great spots. Then Eric Thames at 4,200, like the Brew Crew lefties tonight, as you're going to see. Well, I already said that with the Grandal. And then Matt Beattie at 3,700, super cheap Coors exposure for the Dodgers. My phone's going off. Turn that off. And then at second base, we have Jose Altuve at 4,100. He's a very affordable piece of the Astros stack, and he's going to carry a lot of ownership, but I'm just fine playing with that. He's one of my core plays today. Just too cheap facing the lefty. And then Mike Moustakas at 4,700. Brewers lefty versus Lyles. I'm not going to go in depth there. They're just all in great spots, and they're great hitters. And then Max Muncy, we already talked about him. And then third base, Alex Bregman at 5,100. Just elite numbers versus lefties, and Astros are one of my top stacks. And then Mike Moustakas, talked about him. Yuli Gurriel, 4K, cheaper Astros exposure. And he's put together a decent string of games recently. But whenever I play Yuli Gurriel, just know he sucks, so don't play him tomorrow. And then shortstop, Alex Bregman, talked about him. Marcus Semien. Really not a lot of shortstops. It looks like I'm going to be spending up for Bregman and then figuring out the rest. But Marcus Semien at 4,100. It's an okay spot leading off versus a lefty. Although Skaggs is not a pitcher I love picking on, but he can still get hit. And then Andrelton Simmons at 3,900. Don't love the spot, but again, not seeing anything else too interesting here. And he gets that lefty matchup. And then the high-end outfield, we have the Dodgers outfield for obvious reasons versus in Coors Field. Belly, Jock, Verdugo. Verdugo just hit a home run a little bit ago. Belly's sucking. Jock's not doing the best either. So, but do like them all again if you want to do GPP stack. And then Christian Yelich at 5,700. Love Mike Trout, but if I had to pick between the two, I would go with Yelich, as the Brewers rank is a much better offensive stack for me today. And then George Springer, 5,400. Mashes lefties, and the old leadoff homer may be coming versus Kikuchi. And then in the mid-range outfield, not a lot here. There's just not a lot I liked, but I don't mind Corey Dickerson at 4,300. Woodruff is no slouch. He's a pretty good pitcher, but lefties can get to him just a little bit. I'm not saying he gets smashed by lefties or anything, but you can give up a little bit to the lefties, and Dickerson's been hitting really well recently, so maybe take a shot with him. I should pretty much have zero ownership. And then Justin Upton at 4,100. This is a really nice value play, in my opinion. He hits lefties really well and is very affordable. I think last 2 years combined, his ISO is 240 versus lefties. And then in the value outfield, Chris Davis. I'm not sure if he's going to play. It said he is having trouble gripping his bat, so we're going to see if he's in the lineup or not. But if he is, pretty good play. He's got 4 homers versus Skaggs and does 9 for 21, and he smashes lefties. So don't mind some Chris Davis at that price. Then Ben Gamble, 3,600, cheap Brewers lefty. So not much to say there, but I did it. I think, was he the guy that had the inside the park home run recently? I think he was. But don't mind going with some Gamble. And then if we go to the core plays, I only have 2, but they're Verlander and Altuve. And then for the top stacks, I have the Astros, the Brewers, and the Dodgers. And then I'll do that rest for the Patreon members. Alright guys, that's all I have for the video. NASCAR is going to be coming out tomorrow night. That'll be the next video. So be on the watch out for that. And remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate that. It really helps me out. And you guys have been awesome. So I really appreciate it. And I wish you guys the best of luck.